Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a new to us map. This I believe is called New Lands. And the reason why we're here is because when I did... something happened after I had stopped recording on New Man's Land, to where when I went into it this morning to look at any updates to mods or anything like that, the save game was no longer there. It was empty. So I have no idea what happened. And obviously there was a mod conflict somewhere. I don't know how. I don't know why. I haven't downloaded anything from any websites. It's all been from the mod hub. So I have no idea what happened. But I was kind of thinking about wanting to do a change anyway from that map. But still kind of have a sense of starting fresh, getting into a new map, building our own farm, just getting our own lands, building our own fields, you know, kind of going that route, kind of getting that same mentality going, but on a map like this. Let me show you the map if you're not familiar. Ooh, 93 degrees. That was a little toasty. There we go. So here is the map. We are currently all the way down here in this little village area. And when I say little village, and I do mean little village, there's a couple of homes, plenty of places of business. I don't know about that. But basically, I think this is where we have like the sawmill. I thought this was a place that our vehicle was going to populate, but I was wrong, because the only thing we currently have as far as equipment goes is a tractor, or not tractor, a pickup truck and a trailer. Let me prove it to you. All right, so we have a couple pallets too, or at least one pallet. It's odd that actually populates, but not the other two. We have this flat deck trailer that is relatively new to the mod hub. Came out, I think, just a couple days ago. So we're going to give that a shot as far as our go-to pull-behind trailer. It's, as you can tell, it's not a gooseneck. So, like I said, we're starting off on the small end, and I have gone with the GMC 6.6 liter Duramax. Looks like a 2020 version. 3500 HD, and I do have it set up with the dualies on the back. I think, if I recall, I think the truck I had on No Man's Land was the Sierra, Chevy Sierra or something like that, GMC Sierra. I don't remember. Anyway, no, Silverado, I think is what I had. Anyway, so we're down here in this area here. As you can see, my icons right there pointing towards number 7, which I thought was weird, but apparently that's... Yeah, I mean, we can buy these, so I can buy the homes, and we can do lawn mowing things. These are, I think, are businesses as far as... Yeah, because they're showing the grass around the homes to be a field. Interesting. That's a new one. So the only thing that we currently own, after we do a quick save, is... and I'll show you here, is field 40 or plot 40. And speaking of plot 40, these icons, if you start off fresh, similar to what I'm doing, you will not see these. This is everything that I placed for kind of building the start of our farm. We do have a small area over here. There is a train apparently on this map. I will say, just kind of briefly running around the map, trying to get my senses together. There's a very steep grade over here for the train, so keep that in mind if you end up renting the train and... No, train stopped up there. And now it's going. The other weird thing about this map is all these plot points here, you can buy just those, and they have them tilled up already. And that's the highway. I don't know anywhere in the US where farming is like right next to the highway. I mean, they even have these guys here. Now, granted, that would make very interesting. Ooh, very interesting idea of planting grass in those. And then I'm getting ideas going in my own head. Of buying those, planting grass. I mean, like this field 90 part is 18,000. 89, 19,000. So it's not like they're that expensive. And I didn't even think about it. Of course, that's all the other roads. And its value is 0. So screw it. Let's buy that. I didn't even realize it. But yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do is buy all these little bits and pieces. I'm going to go through, plant it with grass, and just kind of use that as kind of like as my grass fields, essentially, because I do want to, just like every map, not going to lie, I do want to get into animal husbandry. We do have a chicken shed, and we do have our dog. So, but yeah, speaking of being here and thinking that my truck was going to spawn here, it's not here. Let's figure out where our truck is at. So the actual shop is all the way up here. Now keep in mind, down here, this shop, it has icons. It has the icons for you, just like here, where it has a basket for you to go up to. It gets you to, well, this menu, where you can actually purchase your vehicles. But they don't spawn there, they spawn here. So, before we get into buying any of our other equipment, by the way, I do have, because we do have, there is a new mod, or relatively new mod, that I think I've talked about previously, where you have a certain amount of oil, and it like lets you drive for like, say, quote, 4 hours in game time. These containers will actually allow you to do something like an oil change. And then these 2 pallets, because we're getting ready for getting chickens, are the chicken feed. Let's get back out of here. I don't know why they have my truck parked up here, but they do. So, and they know I was coming to get it. So yeah, they can figure out something else to put there. Alright, so I think I have an idea of how to get there. Oop, wrong screen. I'm blowing up my menu here so I can get an idea. Oop. Alright, let's figure out a different route than what I've taken to get there. Now this map, as you can tell, isn't exactly based from anywhere in America. Ooh. Arkansas. And no, I did not build that. That's comes with the game. I like that. I kind of have something similar in style to over on my Teen County map. And yes, I am keyboard catting it. Oh, I think I see what's going on here. The train's struggling to get up the hill. See what I mean about crazy inclines? That is nuts. No offense to the map maker by any means, but you might want to take a look at your elevation changes for your trains. So we could definitely go straight, but I'm going to go this way because I want to take a look down here to see exactly what's on this upper right-hand corner of the map. And I love the fact that we have all these different areas where we can sell products. Do I have a way out? Oh. Yeah, I do. We have all these different opportunities and places to sell our harvests and everything. So I'm not too concerned by that. In fact, that's kind of why I wanted to get away from No Man's Land. Because unless you build a lot of productions and whatnot, you're kind of stuck to the one place catch-all type of location. So odd that goes a 2-lane back down to 1, but alright. Right into a roundabout. And if I'm looking at my map, that's the way to get back onto the interstate. Well, what I call an interstate. Some of you might call it a highway or something along those lines. So looks like we have a few other places up here. That'd be an interesting place to purchase. Right here on the track, so we can lease or loan the tracks and loan the train out and load it up and go. That's the other thing that I'm wanting to get into is wow, I'm just spacing. All these I want to call it a farmhouse, but man, am I tired. Greenhouse. I had the G in the house right. But yeah, I kind of want to get my own greenhouses. And but I think what I might just do is purchase all of these and go about it that route. Or purchase the land and go about it. I think that might be a little bit better opportunity for us. Plus, it's just down the road from where our house is. As the game does a freeze. I've been finding that a lot. I haven't really gotten too much around the map, so I'm going to be finding that quite a bit. All the game freezes like that. As long as it doesn't result in a game crash, I will be fine. Okay, this is weird that it comes down to 1 lane, essentially. And this is our turn here. You can start to see some of our buildings over there. Across the way. I know you guys can't really see on the mini-map, so I'm going to close that out. Because even on when I reduce the size of the mini-map, it's kind of hard to tell where you're driving and whatnot. So I've redone all of this. I've made it look like I put gravel down. This little path was the same size as what we just got turned off of. So with having tractors and whatnot coming up and down this, I wanted it to be a little bit bigger, a little bit wider. I will be getting a water trailer at some point. But we do have a water access point. We do have a rather basic shed. We do have weather monitoring up there. And I do have an RTK. I think it's RTK. One of those things on this end. And of course, this particular shed does not come with a repair shop thing. This thing. But with the open sides, it's very easy to apply. So I do have bees, so this is our access point for the honey. And then around that I have this set up to actually, well, I don't have it set to do anything at the moment. So we're going to set it up to automatically sell. And our beehive, as it were, is this old trailer. Found this on Marketplace. Someone was selling their old beehives, so we went ahead and purchased it, got it brought over here. And I think it's a nice little addition. Eventually we are going to be building a brand new state-of-the-art, well, as best as we can, state-of-the-art beehive. I wish I could get rid of all this stuff. But it says they're all eco-friendly, so Does that mean I can just recycle it all? I mean, look at this. Everything says eco board, eco pallet, eco barrel, eco wheel, eco box, or cardboard. So this is our home away from home for now. I love this thing. Kind of wish it had an interior, but we'll take it for what it is. Of course, we have our solar panels. And if you guys don't remember, these solar panels are separate. It's my way of kind of living off grid, as it were, even though we do have power. Because we do have a silo. This is a 422,868 liter silo that is currently empty. And it does have the side chute. In this case, I wanted to at least get a simple silo. We will need to purchase a grain auger. So we can actually put things into it. And you saw our dog here who's just kind of hunting around. Need to open that up. Where are you going? Can I pet you? No. Billa is her name. It's on a mag, so noisy eater. So yeah, when we got our trailer in place, we got it really close to the tree. I didn't think we were that close. Oops. So we had these two tanks dropped off. They are our diesel tanks for the time being. We do need to fill them. So let's just get an order in and get them 100% full. These three guys, that holds our seed right now. This holds our solid fert and then lime. Had a deal at the shop with these, so we went ahead and went with it. Got another area light right there. This is our little chicken coop. Yeah, I didn't think I could go into there. What about here? This will open up. So, yeah. I may put a little tree in here. Just so they have some shade when they're out here. But that's kind of why we have our chicken feed. Because this one, it's an old chicken coop, so I think it only holds like 35 chickens, maybe. But, yeah, and we just got done repainting it. Yeah, that's kind of our current state of things right now at the farm. I do have 1.29 million in the bank. Supposedly, even when you start off in the middle one, not the new farmer, but the next step up where you have all this money but no land, no equipment, blah, 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 you still start off with equipment. So I haven't added any money in. So after I had all this stuff built, I went and realized I had all the equipment and sold the equipment. I didn't realize we had that equipment, so that's not exactly my fault. But what I'm going to do is we're going to put in, because I really don't want to have to haul all the equipment that I'm going to have to purchase. I'm going to put one of the shop drop things in place near the farm. And we're going to buy some equipment. So what do you say? I have an idea of what I'm wanting. As usual, we're just going to start off with relatively basic things. So alright, so we have our two tractors. Two old school tractors. I never used a tricycle style setup, so that's kind of why I went with that. Not to mention it's a little unrealistic with a 300 horse, but I'll roll with it. So that's where we're standing at the moment. I thought about trying to go with another John Deere, or trying to go with a John Deere old school. But most of my old school ones don't exactly have minimum of like 130, 150 horse. So that's the downside to that. I'm just double checking. I mean, I could go with that, but I kind of like the idea of the canopy over top. Maybe not a full cabin, but at least a canopy. I was even thinking about one of these. I mean, you guys didn't see it because we're just kind of scrolling down through, but it was in the back of my mind. It's like, what about Massey or one of the other ones I don't really use much? Alright, so we have the International 1206 with 300 horse. Yes, I am cheating a little bit. Who cares? And then the Case Farmall 1066 with 140. So that's going to be our game plan, is to shoot for equipment that's 140 horsepower. But stuff that, you know, isn't going to be tiny. So, I mean, something like this we could go with, because we do have the tractor that's got the 300 horse. But, I mean, I'm not going to want to try to get something like that right now and try to pull it. Granted, it's 320, but you know what I'm saying. I want to still try to be somewhat realistic. So I am thinking about this guy here for a plow. I mean, I usually end up with that or one of these guys. Jokingly, I've actually used these guys too, just because of the width and get things done. But yeah, I think we'll go with the one. Yeah, this guy here. Turning off lubrication grease. I hate that. It's gotten so annoying. I thought that'd be interesting, but I forget why I still have it activated. Let's see here. What kind of cultivator? Let's go over here to our mods. Again, I don't want to get anything too crazy because I don't want to try pulling like these guys here. Well, this one I definitely could with a 300 horse one. That'd be funny with getting pulled by a tricycle style. And I do technically have a mod that allows us to get away with anything that's a little bit closer to, you know, that's above the rating of our tractors. I think it technically is like doubles it or something like that. Ooh, this one's 160. If you hear any grinding in the background, my dog is just chewing on one of his bones, so nothing too crazy with that. You know, we're going to go with that. It's 160 horsepower, and I know you guys can't see that, but it's 160 horse. We have the tine set to goosefoot. So, like the arrow-shaped heads. Why? Well, I just kind of like the look of them. We have the track eradicators on the front right there, and I turn the lubrication grease off. So I do want to take a look at our disc arrows as well. We still have, as you can see up there, 1.1 million still. We could go with that because our plow is 3.7 meter, but the plow, I'm fine with it being like a 3 meter deal, but eventually I want some big lands, so we will be quickly upgrading from those. And the only option we have are lights. Not a big fan of that. I may just need to hold off on one of these, so... Well, that wouldn't be too bad. Oh. I already looked at that. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to hold off on that. I guess we should look at a harvester of some sort. Well, actually, you know what? Because of the way I think we're going to be taking things for the moment, let's take a look at a mower. Do we want to go with something like that? Or... I've used this guy before. I'm not a huge fan of him. This one has several different types of heads on it, though. We're gonna go with this guy here. We have it set up for case because that's the way our farm is looking like it's heading. Let's take a look at... Alright, so apparently this has a tedder built into it. But it's only 4.9 meters wide. So one thing that you'll notice is the only pieces of equipment that we get when when we're dealing with the oil thing are the ones that actually have engines. So all the trailers, anything like that, all these mowers should have that as an add-on. As my dog is dropping things. So yeah. Let's go back here. I'm not too concerned about one of these, but we'll take a quick look. I mean, one of these would not be bad to have. By any means. And I don't use these enough either. So that might be a change of pace. We'll come back to that. And with the way my two tractors are, I need something that's all contained in one unit so I don't have to worry about trying to attach anything to the front of it. Like these guys. That's a great piece of equipment, but I would need the piece on the front of the tractor. I need a three-point hitch on the front, and neither one of them that I have that. And while these look cool and badass, I'm not a big fan of them. Although something similar like this may not be a bad thing. And they're both the same. Yeah, we'll wait until we figure out how our fields are going to look before we consider that. I also have no idea how I'm going to take things on this map. It might be a wild ride. think we'll come back to a cedar. We're down to 972,000. If we went with a 12-row, 30-inch spacing planter, that leaves us with being able to do corn, sunflowers, soybeans, beets, and cotton. And that's still within the range of both of our tractors. Ooh, this one could make things interesting. Twin tanks, dry tanks. Oh, big tank. Let's see here. 3 on each at 6, 7, 8, 9, 12. 12 row. That's actually not a bad price either. This is a little 4-row guy. I want to take a quick look at a few other things. And these are the two that allow us to plant everything on the board. And then these two that have the potato, tree, and bamboo on the top allow us to do those. So alright, what about this guy? Can we? Kind of case-ish. Alright. Sorry, for some reason I just haven't really paid attention to those. Ooh. I have not, since I added these, I have not looked into these. Alright, so the two different extensions, looks like one's liquid, one's solid, for probably fertilizer. Doesn't change the capacity. Oh, we have Valtra, Massey, and Fent as our 3 options. Boo. Alright, and that's got the seeds add-on, so we'd have to have those particular seeds in order for that to work, which I haven't really done much with that. Yeah, and these have the same ones. But yeah, these ones look like they can plant just about everything as well. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So, do I want to go with one of these? They are within, that's 5 meter. No markers. I just don't use markers, and anytime I hire helpers, they don't use them either. And yeah, I'll probably still use Courseplay with the tractors that we got, because, well, why not? Alright, I just need to pull the trigger. Theoretically speaking, of course. Don't want to get expand at all? Okay, so that just is adjusting the hitch height. And that is pretty slick looking piece of equipment. It's a little too much horsepower though for what I'm wanting. I keep coming back to this guy. So you know what? Let's go ahead and do it. So that's going to restrict us on what we can plant, but I think we'll manage. And I do want to get a decent little sprayer. And I will probably end up purchasing one of these guys. I'm just looking at the capacity between these guys. I think we'll actually go with this one. Ooh. Okay, yeah, I can do both. And then I just need a... Ooh. Yeah. I need one of these guys. And if I haven't said it before, I'll say it again. I got plenty of mods. 99% of them are from the in-game mod hub. Like I usually say to you guys, if you happen to see something that you're curious about, just throw it in the comments and I will try to get back in touch with you to figure out exactly what it is that you're looking at, for one. And two, try to figure out the name of it, at the very least. I'll do that for you guys. I am not going to put any links to any mods that I may or may not have, simply because I don't remember where I got them from. But like I had mentioned, 99% of the ones I have are from the in-game mod hub. So just keep that in mind. Oh, it's doing the spacing on that. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying not to get anything too massive because of the fact that we are kind of restricted on the weight capacities. But I'm wanting to make sure that it did both fertilizer and lime. I think we're good on all of that stuff for now. Seeing if there's anything hiding out in the grassland care part. We do have our mower. I think I have an idea of which one I'm gonna use. I may eventually get to the point of using one of these guys if we're doing enough grass. Yeah, I stand by my statement. I had to think about that for a second. It's like, wait a minute. I wish that had a bigger capacity. So instead we're going to go with one of these guys, because they have the capacity. Alright, and I think that's gonna do it for that. I think I'm kind of leaning towards eventually getting, like, you know, one of these guys as soon as it loads, because this will actually open up and allow us to dump the grass into it, and it will make the bales from here, and we can load up the bales and sell them that way. At least that's my thinking. So I may not even need one of these other bales, or balers, I guess it would be the correct term. Ooh. But for these only being within the horsepower range for one. Yeah, let's go with a bigger tire. I like the BKTs. Yeah, we'll do that. Or at least we'll give it a shot. I'll put it that way. Like I said, the first couple things I want to do is get our lands mowed down, kind of give us a better sense of what we're looking at, and kind of go from there. Can't believe that one is... Interesting. I don't know if I've used this one for silage purposes. Well, used it, period. It's designed to make silage. That may be something I'm going to look into when we get to that point. Just want to check on something here real quick. Do have a couple of things. Alright, let's get him down here pronto. Or try to. Alright, so we are currently sitting at $853,079. And I think we got most of our equipment set up right. The only thing I know we do not have right now is a harvester and a grain wagon. I think in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and start getting some of this stuff stored in under here. Try to get it organized in a way that makes sense. And then I think next video we are going to, assuming obviously nothing gets deleted or anything. God, I hope not. We're going to go through and start working on cutting our grass and seeing what kind of profit we can get from that. So as always, guys, if you happen to like what you see, if you catch yourself watching more than one of my videos, please do us both a favor and hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. That bell will let you be notified of every single video I post and not just select you here and there. If you made it this far in the video, guys, I want to say thank you, and I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you. And as it is going into the weekend for me, as of me recording this, I hope each and every single one of you has a fantastic weekend. I know here in Ohio it's supposed to be relatively beautiful with, I think, some chances of rain here and there. Hopefully it's just as nice wherever you guys are. So with all that being said, we'll catch you next episode. Take care. Peace.